Hey, good morning, church. A quick thought from today's one-year Bible reading. Welcome, by the way, to Stevo's Drive-In Devos. I have pulled over to the side of the road to record this for you. Got to be safe. Let's go to the New Testament portion of today's one-year Bible reading, which is Luke 23 and 24. We have the account of Jesus' death, burial, and resurrection. Maybe I'll say something about the resurrection tomorrow, but today I want to talk about the death. Now, this was a bad day for Jesus. This was the most worst, horrible, no good, bad day that anybody could have. It's the worst day anybody has ever lived in the history of humanity, because we know what was happening there, because we're Christians and we have the rest of the New Testament and Paul's explanation of what was happening with Jesus on the cross. We know that Jesus was not only suffering his death, which was bad enough, death by crucifixion, he was actually suffering the wrath of God as a substitute in our place. So the wrath of God against all the sin that has ever been committed by every person who has ever lived or ever will live. That's what Jesus was going through. Essentially, Jesus was experiencing eternity in hell, the equivalent of eternity in hell for every person who's ever lived or will live. You know that. Okay, so I'm just saying, let's agree this was the worst day of his life or any person's life. But what happens at the end of this day? At the end of Jesus' life, when he finally dies on the cross, what are his last words? His last words are, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. Jesus knew better than anyone this was God's plan. This was God's will. He was suffering God's wrath, but he did not become bitter, angry, hateful, distrustful. He still trusted God to the very end and committed his spirit to God. Must Jesus bear the cross alone and all the world go free? No, there's a cross for everyone. There's a cross for me. You and I have a cross. There's plenty of suffering to go around in this world, and you're experiencing it. You've got your share right now. I have my share. And sometimes we're tempted, aren't we? We're tempted to blame God, to turn against God, to walk away from God. God, how could you permit this to happen to me? How could you allow this suffering into my life? Or take it one step further. How could you cause this? Some people lose their faith because of their suffering. Don't do that. Jesus didn't. We take a page from his book today. Let's learn this from Jesus. Whatever God allows into our life or even brings into our life, it is for our best ultimately. God works all things together for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. I believe that. Partially because Jesus said, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit," trusting his Father to the very end. Let's you and I do that as well, okay? My trusting friends, God loves you, and so do I.